Let's sew a cute bat decoration perfect for Halloween. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today I have a fully free pattern available for you to sew a cute bat decoration. So both of these pattern pieces are available on my blog, and I will include the link in the description below. The first step though is you're just going to cut out both of the pattern pieces. You'll see there's one piece for the ear, and then there is another piece for the actual bat itself, and then it talks about how much of fabric you will need for each. Now I would highly recommend using cotton fabric for this. I'm going to be using purple. I have made a gray bat in the past that worked really well, but I'm going to be using purple for this. And then you'll want about 3/8 of an inch grosgrain ribbon at some point. Then for my fabric, I'm going to have this on the fold, so as you can see here, and lining up that straight edge onto the fold of the fabric. And then I'm going to pin the bat in place and cut out two of these. So I'm going to cut one out and then I'm going to repeat this to get a second bat. So you're going to want two pieces of this fabric that is cut out on the fold, and this is going to be your main bat shape. So you can see here I have those two pieces. Then you're also going to want to transfer over these notches. I just cut little triangles. You could also use chalk just to denote them. This is going to help us with our ear placement as well as where we're leaving a gap when it comes time to actually do the sewing and turning this right side out. The last item you're going to need are the little ears cut out. So you're going to want 4 pieces of those triangles, so 2 for each ear. Once you have everything together though, we can go ahead and get started. So taking the ears, we're going to match with right sides together. So one set of ears and then pinning these up, and then you'll repeat for the second set of the second ear as well. So we're going to have 2 ears and we're just going to be sewing along those 2 curved edges. You're going to leave that straight edge at the bottom open for both of the ears. So just a super simple little seam. I did around like a 1/4 inch seam allowance for this. You're just going to be sewing both of those up. When you get to that top point, you can pivot, and then we're just going to be sewing, and then be sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end. And here is what your ear should look like once you have that seam done. So you'll repeat that for the second ear, and then you want to turn these right side out. I did find it a little easier if you use like a pen or a turning tool to help get that nice little point at the top of it. But once you have that for both ears, we can then just go through and press these so that they are nice and smooth. So now going back to our bat, you see we have our 2 little ears that are looking nice, so it's time to attach them to the head. So on the head, you had those little notches. I'm going to be matching the edge of the ear to that notch. So you can see there the notch, and then I'm just matching the ear next to it, and then repeating that on the other side. And then I'm just going to pin these ears in place for now. And this is just going to be kind of more of a base. So if you want to actually do a stitch to hold these in place, you definitely can. I'm though just going to kind of pin them in place and then add the second piece of the bat over top of this. So now I'm going to take these with right sides together and just match that second piece of the bat over top. So you can see the right sides of the fabric are there. Just going to match these, and then I'm going to pin up all the way around. Now this is sort of a slower process. This is really like the main piece of this decoration, is just going through and pinning all of this up. You want to be sure everything is lined up nice and smooth. Now the one thing I do want to note is that you're going to see we have those notches on the sides of the wings. On one of them, pick whichever side you want and then mark that with a double pin, and that's going to be our starting and stopping point so we can leave a gap. So I'm just going to go all the way around sewing all of this up, and then you can see on that left side where I'm just kind of denoting, that's going to be my gap where I'm starting and stopping. Now this will allow us to sew the ears in place, this will allow us to sew everything up, and then we're going to have that gap that we can use to turn this. Now this is a great example of sewing on a curve. So as you can see, I'm going to put my needle at that first kind of double pin mark, and I'm just going to take my time sewing all the way around this bat. When you get to an edge, you can put your needle down into it, lift up your presser foot and pivot, but just take your time going through. I do have this sped up. It took me about 6 or 7 minutes to go through this entire thing, so it is not like a quick sew item. This is the main sewing item of this pattern, so be sure you take your time as you go through. You can see I have my little curves though. Everything has turned out really nicely. So now we want to clip these curves so that it's easier for us to turn this right side out. So all I'm doing is cutting little triangles into the seam allowance curve. So I'm not cutting into the seam itself. I'm just taking a little triangle snip, and this will allow our fabric at that seam allowance to have a little bit more room and ability for when we turn this right side out. It won't look as bulky and it will lay a lot nicer. Now, again, this does take a little bit of time because there are so many curves, but this is going to give you a really nice look. So now that the curves are all clipped, it is time for us to turn this right side out. So using that opening that we left, you're just going to push your fabric very carefully through. And I'm just very carefully kind of going through this. You want to be sure you don't want to like pop a seam or anything. So just take your time and go through kind of turning this right side out. There are lots of little points and especially all those curves, so this can take some time. You can see I have my bat here. Now, if you run into any issues where you can't get some of those little points to come through, you could definitely use like a turning tool or a pencil just to kind of push them out. I found that that worked really well for mine. So as an example, I have this little red turning tool on hand. What you can do is just like in that little gap, you see it has that pointed side. You can just kind of push this very gently into those points itself. Now it's time for us to fill up the spat. I am going to be using polyfill, so I take a little handful, gently try to kind of tear it apart, and then I just push this into the bat. I start at the far edge, far point, and then I just work my way through, pulling this along as I grow. So this does take some time if you want to make sure it doesn't look lumpy, but this is what my bat now looks like. You should still have that one opening. And this is really the last little seam you'll have to take, and we are going to do a hand stitch. So I have my needle and thread, and I'm just very carefully going to sew this closed. I add a little knot, and then I'm just going to take a ladder stitch all the way up, sewing these two edges together so that I can close this gap. So this is really the last main stitch of our bat. These come together really quickly, really easily. As you could tell, you could make lots of different ones. My biggest thing for this hand stitch is one, to take your time, but then two, to be sure that you've knotted it at the beginning as well as the end. That will allow it to be much more secure overall for you. So as I was going through this, the cat did show up. As you can see, there she is, and then she decided to leave. But this is what my bat now looks like. Now you can adjust the stuffing as needed. I normally give it kind of like a good press. And then I am just going to add a little ribbon around its neck as a final decoration. So really fast, really easy, and then these can be perfect to use as decorations for Halloween. You can have them around your house, and like I said, the pattern pieces I used are completely free and available on my blog, and I will include the link for that down below in case you want to make your own. I hope you enjoyed this little free pattern. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.